What if I told you that the first photograph to capture people wasn't planned, posed, or even meant to highlight them? It was a fleeting moment in time, frozen forever in 1838 by the legendary Louis Daguerre in the bustling streets of Paris. This is the story of the world's first photograph of humans, taken at Place de la République, the heart of the City of Light. But how did these two figures, mere specks in a sea of movement, end up in this historic image? And why was this moment so monumental for photography and history alike? Before we dive into the fascinating details of this remarkable photograph, make sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our deep dives into the stories behind humanity's most groundbreaking moments. Now let's unravel the tale of this accidental yet iconic image. The year was 1838, a time when photography was in its infancy. Louis Daguerre, a pioneering inventor and artist, was perfecting his revolutionary daguerreotype process. On an ordinary day in Paris, he set up his camera to capture the lively scene of Place de la République, the bustling square filled with carriages, vendors, and pedestrians. Yet, because of the long exposure time, about 7 to 10 minutes, most of the moving elements disappeared from the photograph, leaving behind a ghostly stillness. But in the lower left corner of the frame, two figures stood out. One man, bent over as he got his boots polished by another. These two individuals, unknowingly frozen in time, became the first humans ever captured in a photograph. Their stillness during the exposure, likely from the time it took to shine the boots, allowed their images to remain imprinted on the daguerreotype. The photograph itself is a haunting yet beautiful portrayal of early 19th century Paris. The buildings and trees are sharp and detailed, while the streets are eerily empty, as though abandoned. Yet these two figures ground the scene, adding life and humanity to what could have been a static architectural image. The contrast between the blurred motion of the city and the stillness of these men creates a snapshot that feels both alive and timeless. Now let's talk about why this photograph is so significant. It wasn't just about capturing humans for the first time. This image marked a turning point for photography as an art form and a historical record. It proved that photography could immortalize the everyday life of ordinary people, giving future generations a glimpse into the past. The presence of people in the image added depth, narrative, and meaning, transforming photography from a technical curiosity into a medium capable of storytelling. The photograph also offers a fascinating look at early Paris, often called the Ville Lumière, or City of Light. The streets depicted in this daguerreotype are a far cry from the bustling modern Paris we know today, but they tell a story of a city on the brink of transformation. From the quiet charm of Place de la République to the timeless human interaction captured in its corner, this image is a rare and precious time capsule. What's even more incredible is how accidental this moment was. The man having his boots shined and the shoe shiner themselves likely never knew they were making history. Their brief pause in the flow of daily life became a moment that we still marvel at nearly 2 centuries later. This iconic photograph also reminds us of the power of photography itself. Every image we take, whether it's a posed portrait or a candid shot, is part of a legacy that began with pioneers like Louis Daguerre. So the next time you snap a picture, think about how far we've come. From a 10-minute exposure on a daguerreotype plate to the instant clicks of a smartphone camera. If you found this story as intriguing as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue exploring the fascinating stories behind history's most unforgettable moments.